All right, top of the morning, everybody. How y'all doing? I just want to pass this along to you guys. I want to thank you guys for the great viewership on the last video. I didn't expect that many people would come through. Can't thank you guys enough. And I'm just going to continue to do what I do, and hopefully you guys enjoy the content. All right, let's get into this really quick. Linebackers, the Atlanta Falcons linebackers, they're the most solid and safe, and I think they're going to be the most consistent group out of the bunch, whether there's offense, defense, or special teams. You got like four guys in that lineup that can make a difference. All four guys, if everything goes just as smooth, could be a leader on the defense. I mean, you're talking about Troy Anderson coming back from injury, Nate Landman, who stepped up big time, Caden Ellis, you saw what he can do, and you got J.D. Bertrand, a rookie that's coming in that everybody is raving about as soon as he was drafted. Haven't heard much about him at OTAs. I don't think you hear much about the defense in general at OTAs because it's not a lot of contact. But as far as those four guys go, you're going to have the most solid group of guys on this roster, whether it goes from the wide receivers, the offensive line. Maybe the offensive line is more solid because that offensive line is actually really good for the Falcons, especially in the run game. But I will say, when you're looking at the defensive side of the ball, or you can also just make an argument in general, offense or defensive special teams, those guys are looking really good, and I think they're going to be the catalyst of the defense. We talk about Jesse Bates, we talk about A.J. Terrell, we even talk about the other four on that front seven, or three with the type of all defense we're running on that front seven. Yeah, you can't get more solid than that. I do like the defensive line as well, and with the rookies that we're bringing in as well, they're going to be looking pretty good. And it's just a really good problem to have yet again. Everybody's talking about the secondary and what Clark Phillips is going to do or what he ain't going to do. Listen, give the kid a chance. I think he's going to be fine in his second year. We got better coaching, in my opinion, and we got guys who know what the defensive back position consists of and what is needed out of them. And there's a lot of talk about D. Alford as well. But I don't want to go into secondary. Let's talk about these linebackers before I get out of here. The linebackers, you got Nate Landman on a 1-year deal. He's on a prove-it deal. And they have a safe and they got a safe plan for Nate Landman, because I'm going to tell you this here. He's on a 1-year deal. If he plays out that deal and does very well, he's probably going to get paid somewhere else. And that's where, like the Foye Oluokun effect, where we lost Foye Oluokun to the Jaguars, but we never really had anybody to fill that void. Now you have Nate Landman in that spot. If he does sign with somewhere else because of the impact he has, you got J.D. Bertrand right there. You already got Troy Anderson kind of locked up for a while. I think he may be even on a rookie deal, but you got him in. You got him locked up. You got Caden Ellis locked up. You have J.D. Bertrand in the mix as well. So you're going to have guys that's going to continue to be consistent, even if the fall off is where Nate Landman, the departure of Nate Landman happens. So I think this, once again, we talked about John Paddock last video. You talk about this defense. They're thinking ahead, man. They're thinking ahead. They're thinking the way how things are going with this team and who they can put where and how they're going to put them, and just filling in voids if need be, and having contingency plans. You see that with the quarterback position. You kind of saw that with the running back position. With some things, nobody's really even talking about that. The running back out of Alabama that we drafted, is it a contingency plan there? You talk about the receiver situation. We just signed 2 more receivers. You talk about the cornerback position. We did sign a cornerback. I think I can't remember his name, but we did sign another cornerback, and they have faith in Clark Phillips. Best believe next year in the draft, they're going to go after a cornerback in some form of fashion. It's not going to be like last year where, this last draft where we didn't go after somebody. We're going after somebody then. But you look at everything else across the board. I think the only thing they did not have a contingency plan for is the offensive line, which I think that's another fit that they're going to be looking for in next year's draft. You also have to understand, Terry Fontenot one thing that he likes to do, he doesn't just draft for the, he doesn't just scout for the draft right now. I mean, they're looking at guys for the next couple of years, and trust and believe they're looking at them just to see what these people are about, what these players are about, and if they happen to fall in a position where they like, they're going to do that. I know that's what Terry Fontenot thinks, but it's a little different with Raheem Morris. He just got back into Atlanta, and he hasn't been able to scout like that for Atlanta because he was with the Rams. But best believe they're going to be looking at guys already for the 2025 draft. And when you look at guys like, when you look at guys that have a contingency that could be a contingency plan if something was to happen, or if you end up losing this player and that player, this is what happens. This just goes right back to the Calais Campbell and the Bud Dupree situation. Those guys end up leaving, but look who we drafted. It's always some type of plan, and it is what it is. The other guy who Ogundeji, another defensive guy that was going, but they had a contingency plan. Those three guys I just mentioned, they just got finished getting three guys around that front seven. And if you really want to talk about J.D. Bertrand, that's four guys around that area. So I know there's a lot of worrying and a lot of doom and gloom in some cases. Some people are just a little nervous. But if you watch what's going on here, the OTAs, everything is going very well. And it just goes back to what I'm saying. You look at that linebacker situation. It's the safest and most solid position. And you have guys like, if Nate Landman on a one-year deal, prove-it deal. And if he proves it, he's either going to get paid by us because he's way too good, or he's exponentially good, and the price is going to be too high to keep him, but you got J.D. Bertrand right there behind him. So I love what these guys are doing. I'm not saying these guys are going to win a bunch of games, but what they're doing so far is not a bunch of moves that show that you're, kind of timid or worried, or you think this is a bunch of losing situations right here where they're just playing it safe. No. They're doing a little bit of both, but you can see the aggressiveness in the way they're moving at the same time. So I love it. I really do. And hopefully it garners some wins. I don't know if it will, but I like what they're doing. Y'all let me know what y'all think. I'm going to get up out of here. I got to get back on this road. Thank you guys for all the support. I cannot thank you guys enough. And I'm going to get up out of here. All right, y'all. I'm out. Peace.